Hello, this is Eddie Mendoza, and welcome to Pathways of Hope. You've probably heard it said that Jesus didn't come to judge us, but have you ever considered that we might be judging him? Let me explain. In Matthew chapter 9, Jesus calls a tax collector named Matthew. Now, tax collectors worked for the Romans back then. They weren't just disliked by the citizens, they were hated by everyone and considered traitors and thieves. But Jesus, he doesn't hesitate. He says to one of the tax collectors named Matthew, he says, "Follow me." And Matthew does. Then Jesus goes to dinner at Matthew's house. And guess what? Guess who shows up? More tax collectors and more sinners. And while Jesus is sharing a meal, the Pharisees, the religious people, are standing at a distance. They're judging him. They're saying, "Why does your teacher eat with sinners?" They couldn't understand why a supposedly man of God would be so open, so merciful, so uncomfortably gracious. And here's the irony. Jesus came not to judge, but they were judging him. And we do the same, don't we? Every time we ignore a teaching of Jesus, every time we choose what parts of instructions to follow and what parts to dismiss, every time we delay responding to his call or snubbing his invitation, we're not just ignoring Jesus. We're passing judgment on him. We're making a judgment call on his wisdom, his authority, and even on his love. And that's not discipleship. That's control. That's us evaluating Jesus like he was a consultant instead of surrendering to him as the Lord of our life. Jesus still walks up to people like Matthew today, people like you and me. And he doesn't give up saying, "Come, follow me." The question is, will we respond with trust? Or will we keep standing at a distance, weighing his words, measuring his methods, judging the judge? My friend, if your heart's been holding back, maybe today is the day and the time to step out of that seat of judgment and take your place at his dining table. And maybe that's why this video ended up in your feed or in your inbox. Someone cared enough to share it with you. Not to preach at you, but to invite you into something real, something personal. Now, my friend, if this stirred something in you, why not reach out to that person who sent you this video? Now, seriously, ask them why this message mattered to them. Ask them about their own journey with Jesus. I know they'd be glad to talk. No pressure, no script, just a real conversation. Sometimes, the first step in following Jesus is simply saying, "Tell me more." Again, this is Eddie Mendoza, and may God bless you.